Hello everyone, my name is Afreen Rahman and I'm back with another episode of Product Today. And today we have with us a very special guest. We have with us product manager at PayPal, senior product manager, who is Khanjan Desai. Welcome Khanjan to the show.
Thank you, Afreen.
Well, it's lovely to have you here, and I cannot wait to get all the info out of you regarding how to crack a product manager's job at PayPal. I have my diary and my pen ready here to take down and jot down all the notes. So let's get into it. And just to give her introduction, well, she's here in person to do that. Khanjan, firstly, just can we get a very, very quick intro about you in just a very crisp format?
Sure. So currently I'm working at PayPal. I'm a senior product manager here. I am in the pricing team. And prior to this, I was again in a fintech company, Razorpay, where again I was working in the neobanking space. And then before that, I did my sort of like an MBA from ISB. And then before that, I worked for around 3 years with with Bain and Vodafone Idea. So it's been a very sort of varied kind of an experience, and the last 2.5-ish years where I've been into product have been super enriching from a learning standpoint as well as execution standpoint. So I'd love to talk more about that.
Wonderful to hear that. So many domains and so many industries that you have worked with. But still tell me, because product management is relatively a very new term for, Indian markets. So what exactly drove you towards that product evangelist role or something like that? What got you interested into product initially?
That was my destiny, and I would say good luck. But I found amazing mentors and support at my first job. So Idea Cellular, I still thank my mentors today. So they basically helped me understand this world, and they found my strengths before I did. So I was motivated by them. But after that, of course, it was a lot of hard work on my end to learn technology, to learn what product management processes look like, what project management processes look like. And then I tried to always learn and apply. So if you just keep on learning and reading up, as I said, it's of no use. It can, of course, make you feel good and enlightened, but for a job, you need to apply things, right? So then I created opportunities for myself, no matter which organization I was in. Even at ISB, I created opportunities for me to get the shortlist for product roles, because it's not easy at a college like ISB to get a product shortlist, because everybody is excellent there, and opportunities are there. But as you said, it's upcoming role. So I was interviewing for companies in 2019, which was not when product management was that famous. Of course, the big companies used to come, and so even to get a shortlist was demanded a lot of preparation and going through case competitions. I remember I failed at around 3 to 4 case competitions, and then I cracked Microsoft, and I'm the national winner of that year for Microsoft.
Wow.
So I think perseverance and just the basic observation of what people are doing and talking to product managers is when it excited me to actually enter this world formally. I think my entry into this was just by fate.
Great. Well, wonderful to hear that. Now that you are fully into the world of product management and you are working as a product manager at PayPal, tell me everything about the interview process there. So, starting from how did you prepare for this role? Basically, once you were like aiming for PayPal, let's say, what was your interview, preparation like?
Yeah. So, PayPal actually, their operations in India are currently only at a business to business level. They were in the B2C space, I think 1.5-ish years back, but they exited it. So the majority of product roles they have are global product roles, right? So we don't work on one geography, or we don't work on just one product, let's say, bit, right? So the first step for my understanding of what they do and how they do it is to talk to a lot of people who already worked at PayPal, because it's a huge organization. So maybe my interview process or some one person's interview process would not be representative. So I talked to a couple of people to understand what could be the generic process. And as I said, product management interviews are usually similar in most of the companies, right? Where there are cases and walkthroughs. But for me specifically, because my role and my team who was interviewing me was a little more, it was like a tailor-made sort of a fit. So my interviews were very focused on the problems that I had solved. So they were basically asking me of specific challenges I faced, or specific skills I had to showcase, or how did I handle my previous product role, right? And my previous products that I handled. So it was very, I would say, customized for me. But in order to make this answer more helpful for people who are viewing us right now and who are preparing for PayPal, because now that I also am in the interviewing, I have, experienced various interviews, is that just think of it as a combination of cases that you might have to answer. So they could be all your basic case types: product sense, product thinking, RCA. You can check the other part of our series for this, but just prepare the cases and also focus a lot on the core values that PayPal has. So PayPal is a people first, customer first kind of a company, and they put a lot of focus and pressure on a culture fit. Right. So also prepare your answers for your career experiences of, let's say, what challenges did you face? How is your conflict resolution style, right? How do you deal with differences of opinions, right? How do you also there might be an engineering round. So if you're into product management, the engineering team is very strong at PayPal, and they highly value product managers who are companions to the engineering team. So you will probably have a round with the engineering manager. So learn to speak their language, learn to have a round or have a conversation with the engineering managers. If you're not already a PM, if you're a PM, you will obviously have experience in working with an EM. So you might know all of that. But yeah, that was one other round which happened. And then it's basically, I think, a combination of 5 to 6 rounds, depending on how your candidature is shaping forward and what kind of feedback do you get. It could be elimination round for some candidates. It could be sum of all the rounds for some other candidates. It's very difficult to, really say for one particular role what might be the case. So it's a combination. And because we have a lot of teams at PayPal, so doing your homework about what that team does and how the organizational structure looks like that in that team, you could probably ask your hiring manager or your recruiter for more details before you go to, so that you have more clue about the business or the product features that are there in that current landscape. So yeah, I think that is it about PayPal, and people at PayPal are very friendly, so you won't really feel nervous or it's not very technical, if I may put it. It's more to do with your leadership style and your experience and how you approach, as I said, product management in general.
Got it. So, well, that's great. So basically, if I get a gist of it, if I ask you how many number of rounds are there in product management, interviews at PayPal, would it be safe to say about 4 to 5 rounds of it? Right. So basically, starting from your HR round, can we have like a breakdown of the rounds that probably you went, or in general that you have at
so
PayPal?
Yes, so at PayPal, we have, of course, HR support all through, from, let's say, shortlisting of resumes to, helping out with connecting to the right interviewer. But I'd say the first round, the screening round, essentially is usually taken by the hiring manager themselves, because they don't believe in, wasting anybody's time, right? So if at that stage only the match and the fit is not there, we don't go ahead. So possibly the first round is an important round, and where people make mistake is they feel, oh, this is going to be a casual chat round. Even I did not know actually this before I interviewed, but I came to know much later that this is how the process is. So maybe just read up more. But yeah, so the first round could be the hiring manager round, and then followed by a product sense, product case kind of a round. Then it could be with your some of your stakeholder maybe from the customer team or the marketing team, whoever you are going to be working with. So for me, of course, it was depending on the team I joined, but for the other people, it could be, if you're joining, let's say, the tax team, then somebody from the tax and regulation team might come up. So it really depends on who you work with. Then it could be a technical, as I said, technical conversation round with the engineering manager, and then maybe a final round with the HR where basic discussions are done, and then, yeah, the closing ceremonies, I guess.
So, okay, so these were the rounds. Now, if I'm preparing for PayPal's, product manager interview, what is the approach that I need to take? Like, do I need to start preparing 6 months in advance or probably 2 months in advance? Like, how do I approach the preparation part of it?
So I'll not really focus on the tenure part of it. That really is, it depends on your own standing, right? But I'll try to focus on what are the aspects of the approach, right? So as I said, first make your resume very well articulated, and the format should be structured. Try to relate it to the job description of the role that you're applying for. Try to get a referral. So usually everybody at PayPal usually posts about the role they're hiring for, and they offer you referrals, right? So try to grab those, try to follow people and try to grab those. And then, so once you apply for it, then start preparing specifically the answers to your work experience, which could make you a powerful choice for that particular role, right? So if that role is asking you to be a people's person, then try to prepare answers from your work experience, which are of course true. Don't make up stuff, but try to pick and choose items from your experience, which could make you seem like a people's person, right? Versus if they are looking for somebody who is technically expert or sound or whatever, right? Yeah. Then chart out different pointers from your work ex to justify and prove that. Right. Try to do your homework in this tenure about what kind of products they are building and what is their vision. PayPal is a listed company, so you have a lot of information on their financials. Yeah. You could go through, look at that. You could look at the leaders who keep posting on LinkedIn, etc. We have pretty active leaders, right? So this kind of homework should suffice. And then your basic product case prep is anyway going on. So that's nothing specific for PayPal. If you're good at solving cases, you are good at solving cases in any company. So I think, and if you ask me about what time should you dedicate, that really depends on you, right? But I'd say that once you apply, after that you should start catering your answers specific to PayPal. Otherwise, in general, all these tips apply for any product interview that you do.
Well, great. Now that you're already part of PayPal's team and you're working, what is the product team structure at PayPal is like? Like, so are you you have your own, obviously, dedicated team, you're working with multiple, because it's a multifaceted role, right? Multidisciplinary, I would rather call it. So what are the different teams that you work around with, and those skills that we require to actually, master in us to work as a product?
So again, some teams might or might not come in your purview depending on the product you have, but in general, a senior product manager has to handle more than one Scrum team, right? So we follow agile methodologies and agile manifesto, and so a Scrum team is usually 6 to 7 engineers and a team lead and an engineering manager, and then there are 3 such teams, which are the tech counterparts that we have. But then we also have the business counterparts, where it could be the strategy teams, the leadership teams, the project management team, so the PMO team, and the process is working well and what are the problems, and they get the brunt of the customers, right? So we have to collate with them to take that input and incorporate in the product. This third part, so one is tech, one is business. The third part is, of course, the marketing folks and the sales folks, which we work directly with, because we need to get insights on what is the messaging, what is the positioning that has to be set, what is the sentiment of our customers, what is the landscape, what are our competitors doing, right? So all of that is from the marketing and sales team. And then there are some additional teams. It could be in the customer service or customer support, or it could be maybe some teams to do with strategy, or some teams to do with different planning execution, right? So that really is customized for each team. But for me, primarily, I have worked with every possible stakeholder that I could. And that's the best part
Yeah.
about working at PayPal, is because it's a global company and it's a huge, company present in multiple countries. And the
Multiple
product that I
countries.
handle is also spanning across that. So I literally don't know the next day which new person from which team am I going to talk to and work with, right? So that is exciting. And that's why I have, I have worked with almost every type of team member that I could.
Yeah, I can imagine how much that contribute even growing as a product manager, right? That the interactions, like you were telling you, I think every day must be a new learning experience doing that,
Yep.
right? Well, this was wonderful, Khanjan. The way I think now I need to apply for PayPal.
You're most welcome.
Product manager interviews. I think I will get into it. Prepare for my technical rounds. Well, thank you so much, Khanjan, for being part of this episode. It was lovely and very, very insightful. I'm sure all our viewers are have noted and jotted all the points that you have told us for every question asked. Thank you so much for being part of our series, and it was lovely to have
Thank you, Afreen. It was a pleasure again to collaborate with Insate. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye
Bye bye.
bye.
Take care.